Hello, everybody. This is Gary. Today is Saturday, December 4th, 2021. It is 3:24 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States in Rochester, New York. And this is being with Schizophrenia log entry for today. Today, I wanted to do a review of the movie I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, which is a 1977 film starring Kathleen Quinlan. It was nominated for two Academy Award winners, and it won two Golden Globe Awards for the film. Um, I'm 56 years old, and this film was done in 1977. Um, and it's about a young girl, 16, who has schizophrenia, and it's based on the book by the same name. The movie changes a lot of what takes place in the novel. In the novel, the main character of the movie is subject to a lot of anti-Semitic attacks from her peers, um, and because she's Jewish, the main character in the novel, um, that part is taken out of the movie. Um, there are a lot of other changes in the movie that were in the book, um, including the main character's last name was changed. The movie is about a young girl, 16, played by Kathleen Quinlan, who has schizophrenia. She lives in a secret world of fantasy, which is a kingdom, and she has a lot of different friends and characters in this kingdom. And she spends most of her waking hours living in a fantasy world with many different characters in this secret kingdom of hers. Um, I won't tell you the ending of the movie. I think it's a very good portrayal of mental illness. When I first saw the movie in 1977, that was long before I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia. Um, in the movie, the main character is 16 years old. She's a very pretty, white, privileged girl who spends most of her time in a fantasy world, and she works with a therapist to get back to reality. Um, I think the movie's a very good, accurate portrayal of schizophrenia, or at least one form of schizophrenia. Um, I think it's a movie worth watching. Um, I had to look to find out where a person can watch it. It's not on YouTube in the YouTube movie section. The only thing you'll find about I Never Promised You a Rose Garden on YouTube is clips from the movie and movie reviews. Um, so I did some Google searches, and you can find I Never Promised You a Rose Garden on Amazon.com, where you can rent it for like $4, I think. Um, but in the movie, the main character isn't able to feel physical pain. Like if she burns herself with a cigarette on her arm, she won't feel or respond to the physical pain, and she lives completely in a total fantasy world, um, which is kind of reminiscent of what I've done a lot in my life. I've often lived in a world of fantasy, delusion, hallucinations, imagination, um, separate reality from the real reality that I find myself in. Um, the movie is not as good as the novel. The novel, I believe, was written in the 1960s. Um, there are newer print versions of it that you can find on Amazon. You can buy the original, or you can buy newer copies and newer versions of the novel. The novel goes into a lot more detail about the main character's struggle with schizophrenia and mental illness and living in a fantasy world. It keeps in the element of anti-Semitism and the fact that the main character is Jewish and subject to anti-Semitic attacks, um, which is part of the reason in the novel the main character retreats into a psychotic fantasy world. Um, there, Mel Gibson plays in the movie in an uncredited role as a baseball player. It's his first role in a movie, and he's not credited at the end of the movie for his role in the movie. But that was his first movie role that he ever played in. You can find a clip of that on YouTube. But the movie's a very good movie. It's a very good portrayal of mental illness and a young teenage girl and how she struggles with it. I think it's an accurate portrayal of schizophrenia. Um, and I think it's worth spending a few bucks to rent it on Amazon.com to watch it. Um, so I just wanted to give that quick movie review. And also, if you want to get a better version of the story, read the book. It's a lot better than the movie. But the movie itself was very good. Kathleen Quinlan's acting is remarkably good. Excellent, in fact. She goes on to star in other movies later on in her career. But I recommend watching the movie. It's a very good movie. And I think it's a very intricate, fantasy-filled movie. And I think it's just worth watching. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. But aside from that, as far as my own schizophrenia, I'm doing pretty well. My delusions are under control. My hallucinations are under control at baseline. My depression is under control. My anxiety is under control. My paranoia is pretty much under control. I'm finding it easier and easier to stick to my daily schedule, which includes doing videos like this one. I'm going to try to do at least one video per day as part of my daily schedule. I think it's important for my mental health to keep a daily schedule, including going out for a long walk. It helps me deal with anxiety, paranoia, hallucinations, delusion. The ironic thing about my paranoia is it actually gets worse if I stay in my apartment all the time. Going outside, I always feel a little bit paranoid, but my paranoia gets even worse if I'm not around other people. And then when I do go around other people on those rare occasions, then I feel really, really paranoid. So ironically, the key to reducing my paranoia is to get outside more. It is colder out. It's December. I live in upstate New York. Winter's coming. The weather's getting colder. Temperatures are getting colder. It's going to start snowing pretty soon. Didn't snow today. It was pretty sunny out today, but fairly cool out. I do have an indoor bicycle that I can use for exercise, but I prefer to go outside to exercise because it just gets me around other people and helps reduce my overall anxiety and paranoia. I'm still doing consumer surveys online for extra money, so I'm exercising more. I'm trying to eat right, trying to keep doing my YouTube videos, keep doing my work, keep doing meditation every day, 2 or 3 times a day. I use YouTube video for meditation. There's a lot of YouTube channels that have meditation in them. Some of my favorite YouTube channels for meditation are Meditation Vacation, Jason Stevenson, Michael Seeley, Tansy Forest, and a few other channels. Michelle Sanctuary. Those are all good YouTube channels for meditation, especially visualization meditations that take you step by step through relaxation exercises and images like being on a tropical beach or in a nice quiet forest or in a nice forest cabin or whatever the visualization happens to be. Um, but I'm doing okay. I am seeing my therapist this week, I believe on Friday on the 10th. On Wednesday, I have an appointment with my urologist because a few months back I had surgery on my urinary bladder and my prostate a couple of months before that. So I'm seeing the urologist on Wednesday, which would be the 8th of December. Um, I believe it's Wednesday. Let's see, today's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Yeah, Wednesday I'm seeing the urologist. We're going to go over how well I've been doing since the surgery. I had the urinary surgery because I couldn't urinate, and so they had to do surgery on my prostate to keep my prostate from blocking my urethra, and they did surgery on my bladder because I had diverticuli in my bladder that were preventing me from being able to empty the urine out of my bladder on my own. So I had to wear a urinary catheter for 4 months. But once they did the bladder surgery, I was able to urinate again. And it's been a few months since the surgery, so I have an appointment with the urologist to follow up on Wednesday. And I believe I will be seeing my psychiatrist week after next to go over my medications. But other than that, I'm doing well. Watch the movie I Never Promised You, A Rose Garden with Kathleen Quinlan. It's a very good movie. I won't spoil it for you by telling you how it ends, but it's a very good movie and it portrays schizophrenia very accurately.